Max here. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Minnesota Vikings offseason moves so far and kind of what I think they need to do, and then what like as far as the draft and things before the season starts. Um, I'm a huge Vikings fan. I always have been, so this one's pretty easy for me. So far this offseason, I think the key adds, well, kind of the only additions they've made is Riley Reef and Mike Rimmers at both tackles, Latavius Murray tailback, and then Case Keenum is a backup quarterback. As far as the tackles go, I like the signings because it addresses a huge need. Obviously, I mean the Vikings' offensive line last season was pretty much garbage. It was probably I'd say bottom three in the league, honestly. And that's a need they needed to fill for sure, especially since the draft the tackle group isn't very strong. Um, but I feel like they paid like 80 something million combined um, in deals for the two of them. So I feel like they might have overpaid for average players. Like Reef is okay, but he's struggled at times at left tackle, especially in pass protection. They're both good run blockers, but in pass protection, I don't know. So I mean, I think they're good signings because we needed to fill those needs, but I feel like they may have overpaid for average players. Uh, they the Vikings have actually lost a lot of guys this season, which sucks. Clearly, Adrian Peterson, he's not coming back. I feel terrible about that. I've grown up watching him, but he was bound to move on at some point, and I feel like the way the offense is moving with Pat Shermer, it was about time for him to go. I don't know if he really would fit in with what they're trying to do. A lot of shotgun running, and it's not really AP style. Um, then we lost Captain Munnerlin, which is kind of a big hole. Nickel corner is, I feel like, a huge position in the NFL. Like, ask Leslie Frazier about that when he tried to make Josh Robinson a nickel corner. Didn't really work out for him. Might have cost him his job, um, or part of it. But anyway, also lost Cordell Patterson, Charles Johnson, Matt Khalil at tackle. I'm trying to think who else. Asiata is still a free agent. But yeah, I think those are the main guys. As far as Patterson and Johnson go, like I wish we could have at least re-signed Patterson, but he went to like Oakland for like 5,000 or 5 million, and I don't think we are willing to do that, especially with re-signing Thielen to a contract extension and having Diggs, and then hopefully Treadwell pans out. We'll see. Um, and Munnerlin, like I wanted to re-sign him, but we drafted Mackenzie Alexander. Not we, the Vikings. Sorry, I say it like that, like I'm on the team just because I'm a huge fan. But just hopefully Mackenzie Alexander can progress. I think that's what Mike Zimmer's hoping for. But I feel like if they could bring in another veteran guy just in case, because last year he struggled at times, just in case he doesn't work out there, I think that'd be good. As far as the draft goes, obviously the Vikings don't have a first round pick because of the Sam Bradford trade, which in the long run, like people will say they didn't make the playoffs, so it was a stupid trade. But having me under contract this year is huge, especially since Teddy Bridgewater might never play again. Um, but they have the 48th overall pick, I think is their first pick, and like I've seen a lot of mock drafts with the recent Sharif Floyd news of like defensive tackle or like corner or wide receiver because we lost Patterson and Charles Johnson, but I think it has to be offensive line. Like I know you're supposed to draft the best player available, but I feel like there'll be a quality guard there, like a Dan Feeney or a Forrest Lamp or someone like that. If they fall to you there for you, I think you got to take him. It's the reason the Vikings O-line is where it is today is because Rick Spielman, I think he's a good GM, but like he's totally neglected the offensive line. I feel like basically the entire time he's been GM, especially in the early rounds. So I think it has to be a guard. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they went in the third round too with their next pick and got a guard. If a guy like the I can't remember his name, the Ohio State center or the LSU center, if either one of those guys fell, I think you could take him there in the third round. And then as throughout the rest of the way through the draft, I think just best player available. Maybe add like a corner. I know we're pretty deep at corner with Rhodes and Waynes and Newman came back, but loss of Munnerlin could maybe use another corner just to mess around with. Maybe a wide receiver. I mean, we'll see what happens with Treadwell, but it wouldn't hurt to have another wide receiver. Um, I think maybe a pass rusher would be nice. Like B-Rob's still good, but he's getting old. I know we have Daniil and Everson, but maybe a guy on the inside too actually would probably be better. And then obviously someone to replace Chad Greenway would be nice. I know we got some in-house guys, Evan Robinson and Emmanuel Lamar, but I don't know if those guys are the long run answer. So I think drafting a linebacker in the middle rounds would be nice. But yeah, I think I'll probably give the Vikings a B minus grade. They filled some needs in the free agency so far, but I'm not in love with the guys they signed and for the amount of money they signed them for. So I'll give them a B minus, and hopefully they have a good draft. This channel, basically, as you can tell so far, I'm going to talk a lot about sports. That's the name, Max Sports. Um, it'll focus mainly on football. I'll be talking about the NFL, some college football, and maybe a little basketball too. Those are my two main sports that I like. I like all sports, but those are the two I feel like I can talk about and know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start off by just breaking down the offseason moves for each team in the NFL, hopefully before the draft starts, and post all those. And then I'll do draft grades. And then as the season or as the offseason progresses, I'm going to do like fantasy football videos because I love fantasy. And then obviously throughout the season, we'll have tons of things to talk about. So I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. Thanks.